Good morning. I'm up before the sun today. I am doing morning pages as prescribed. I had stopped doing it because I noticed that when I would do my morning pages, I needed a space to keep my ideas all day long, and not just for the morning as Julia Cameron would have it. At least that was my understanding. It's been a while since I've read the book, but so um a thing about journaling. Journaling has saved my life. I don't know, it has really done something for my mental health. I'll throw that term around. I don't really care to use it in that way. um, but there is something to preserving your own mental health, and for me journaling has been one of those things. And I journal about anything and everything, whatever is in my head. I don't journal. There are times when I don't journal, and that could just be because I'm too busy or things are going on and I just don't have a chance to let my pen land on the paper. And I have noticed that when I don't journal, I am very scattered. I am very, things are very cluttered in my mind. I can't sort things out. Not that I can't, but it is difficult to kind of get a grasp on what's going on when I can't get it out onto the page first. And maybe this is a crutch, but it's better than some other crutches out there. So I was like, yeah, give me a pen over a pipe. I don't give me a pen over a pipe. Okay, so what I wanted to talk about is in this video is that I've been journaling in this little book. This is A6. I normally journal in these B6 sizes just because I do like the space, but I like the portability of this one. So it had made a comeback, even though I knew I did not want to journal in the smaller size. So my way to remedy that was to use this orientation to, and I did that for quite a bit, but I did end up going back to the regular orientation of writing. And so I'm thinking about going back into this book, but I'm really thinking about going back into a composition book, because this is the whole point of my story here. This is story time. So I um I had been feeling cluttered because I was using again this little book, and I feel like everything wasn't making its way, because I feel like I had some big ideas, and for some reason this little book was not able. I couldn't wrap my head around like putting all of my big ideas into this little book. I don't know, head games. Let's just call it what it is. It's head games. So I had taken some loose leaf, uh, what are they, like, binder, like when you go to school you have those binders and the loose leaf A4 paper. It looks like this. And I just journaled, and I hadn't felt that free in a long time as far as journaling, because I had the space. I had the I had the space. I didn't have to stop, stop and start as I would and turn the page. It was like there was just more writing freedom here. And what I noticed is that I normally have, like, I like to drive, but I don't like traffic or like certain traffic spots, and I get like anxious about them. Like I have to breathe through them. It's not neurotic or anything. It's just like okay, be careful, please pay attention here, because you know that it's just a heavy traffic area. And so I had done that journaling, the morning pages as Julia Cameron prescribes. um I did the morning pages, and then I I was done. I went to go run my errand, and when I was in that traffic area that I know I go through this area often, um, I was not. I didn't have those feelings of like, oh my gosh, be careful, um, focus, like those anxious thoughts of like, oh, like people are crazy. I did, and I noticed in that moment, I was like, hey, normally when I go through this spot, I am really like hyper aware. And I noticed that I was still aware, but it was like a tenth of the way I normally feel when I go through there. Um, and I think I know I am going to attribute that to the journaling. And I didn't even journal about having to run errands or the drive or anything. I was just going through my head and putting anything and everything else on the page. And what was interesting is that on my way back, I noticed that as I went through that area, it was back to it was back to business as usual with like, oh my God, be careful, focus. And I noticed in that moment, I told myself, like, that's because you didn't journal, or that's because you didn't um, journal about transitioning or anything. Like, oh, it's because you didn't write. And so this is um, what is the word? This is my pain morning pages its dues, because it works, like giving credit where it is due, because I do feel that journaling, and even not morning pages, I think that just, putting some words down on a page just to about your feelings um is so beneficial. And if you don't have a practice already, I would suggest it. And I'll talk to you soon. Thanks, bye.